You are listening to Waywut? This is a weekly rabbit hole podcast that goes into a variety of topics ranging from the supernatural to sports to science or anything else that we find interesting. We post episodes every Tuesday. We post on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Pandora. Please follow us on any of those. If you prefer video, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want to talk to us or keep up with any random information we decide to talk about, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever it's called, under @Waywut Podcast. That does it for all the self-promotion stuff. Thank you for listening, and here we go. Hello, and welcome to episode 9 of Waywut. 9 episodes. We'll be at double digits next time.
I know, we're almost a teenager.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess.
Preteen. Yeah, somewhere in there.
All right, cool.
So we're cranking them out. It's been a great time.
Mm-hmm. So, again, this is Waywut, and I am Darrell Holiday, along with the Fanta fanatic, Jason.
Hey.
Don't you want a Fanta? Don't you?
I love a Fanta. I always want a Fanta.
Really? I don't like them.
No, not anymore. I don't really drink sodas that much anymore.
All right, so tonight, or today, or whenever, I don't know, whatever limbo. At this moment.
There we go.
At this moment, I kind of want to start things off with a bit of a doomsayer rant.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's enough doomsaying in the world. At least I think
No.
that, because I don't watch the news. So, why aren't we more terrified of Yellowstone? I don't mean the TV show.
I'm about to say the TV show.
No.
You should be terrified of it.
No, I mean the super volcano, Yellowstone. I mean, I love Yellowstone. I've been there. I liked it. But it's a giant ticking time bomb.
Because it's so pretty. You don't think about it because it's so pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting there reading on it, though, and these scientists are like, yeah, it could fire off, like 500,000 years from now or next Tuesday. That's not cool.
It's a pretty good ETA.
Well, I mean, it makes me think about like the people that live. When I went to Italy and I saw the people that live on Mount Vesuvius, and I don't mean they live by it; they live on it.
In the lava path.
No, on the actual, where it starts to go up because it's a mountain. But yeah, so they're living on a volcano. And I looked up, what are you supposed to do? And Italy has said, hey, why don't we just go ahead and, just move all of you? And they're like, no, we're not going. And so all they do is make evacuation plans.
A good thing lava moves at a very slow pace.
Oh, no, we'll get to, I will get to that eventually. I've already written episodes that involve certain things involving
the speed
eruptions.
Of lava?
Not necessarily the speed of lava, but the speed of other things involved with the volcanic eruptions.
Oh, I had one of those earlier in the bathroom.
I mean, they've gotten, I've seen it before where, they start getting these seismic readings, uh-oh, hey, everybody evacuate, nothing happens. It's going to end up just like those people that live in Houston and Florida and stuff, where they're just it's just going to be a category 2 hurricane. I'll just hang out outside in my flip-flops. Yeah. And then a big category 5 comes and just sweeps them away and act all surprised. I didn't know. It's going to be the same bullshit. So anyways, back to Yellowstone. Have you ever looked up the eruption map for Yellowstone?
The eruption map?
Yes.
Like the last time
if Yellowstone
erupted?
If Yellowstone was to blow. Yeah. So the entire country will be blanketed in ash. All of it. Now, fortunately for, you and me in Texas, we're only going to have 1 to 10 millimeters thick of ash. Now, granted, it's still not going to be good for us to be breathing that stuff in.
No.
Yeah, but like Wyoming and chunk of Colorado, they're all just going to die like
Yeah.
immediately. So yeah, anybody in the Rockies, they're pretty much toast, or well, rock, ash, and glass covered toast. And please don't take this that I'm saying that everyone in the Rockies should move, because a lot of you would probably move to Texas, and we're already dealing with an influx of Californians, and
Yeah.
we don't want you.
That's the
All
only
I'm
thing I got influx of.
The main reason I think I'm bringing this up is like the next time you're in traffic or whatever, and you're getting pissed off about something stupid, just remember you're living either on or adjacent to a giant volcano that can destroy you and about a third of the country. So
It
don't.
could be worse.
Well, no, it's just that nobody wants the last thing they do to be a complete dick move.
Hmm.
Any way you want to go out.
Yeah, it depends.
So, speaking of volcanoes and Californians, tonight we're going to talk about Mount Shasta.
Shasta?
Yeah, you see why I did the
Like the
family
drink?
thing now?
Yeah.
Ha yeah. I put some thought into that. Of course, when you have to explain your joke, it's not a good one, but,
Mm-mm.
I don't care. So, Mount Shasta is a 14,179 foot tall, potentially active volcano towards the tip top of California.
Okay.
Yeah. It
So you
is.
say potentially, that means it's never erupted before?
No, it has. It's just they don't really know if it's dormant or if it's, not dormant.
Just brewing.
Yeah.
Like a bad night with Taco Bell is just brewing in your stomach, just waiting.
Why is everything Taco Bell with you?
Oh, it's this when you think of diarrhea, they
No.
go hand in hand together. Even though something else may give me diarrhea, but Taco Bell, it's the given.
Why you're so gross. Everything you've been doing lately is gross. Stop being gross.
I'm sorry.
This isn't about being gross.
Kinda.
Stop making me be the sensitive one.
Yeah. What's the deal here?
All right.
You're supposed to talk about poop with me.
No, I want to talk about Mount Shasta. It is the second tallest mountain in the Cascade Range and the fifth tallest mountain in California. Isn't this interesting?
Really?
Yeah. It is also one of 3 American volcanoes listed as a very high threat. The other 2 is Mount St. Helens, which that one wasn't that long ago, and
Yeah.
then Mount Rainier, which I didn't know Mount Rainier was a
Nothing
volcano
in
until
Hawaii?
this. We're talking about
The continuous. Okay.
you know,
The stuff that counts.
yeah. I mean, I love Hawaii, but come on,
Yeah, come on.
I mean, even
They're
they
not a
don't. I
real
mean,
state.
they call white people howlies, so I mean,
Howies?
howlies, yeah.
Oh, like okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I knew a girl that she grew up in Hawaii, and whenever she went to high school there, it was a lot of Hawaiians, but the white girls, they call them Howley whores, and they're like, "Ha, idiot! Whore starts with a W," because they call them HHs sometimes, and it's like, no. Anyway,
That's silent letter.
so over the past 4,500 years, it has erupted every 600 years on average. Now, the last known eruption of Mount Shasta was almost
599 years ago. Oh,
800 years ago in the year 1250.
no, so it's due.
Yeah. So, knowing that it's due, I mean, and that's one of the reasons why they say potentially,
It's constipated.
because it's not that they run on clocks or anything, but I mean, still kind of. Well, and 200 years in the span of geology is still like brief. So, all right. So, what does a Mount Shasta eruption look like? To summarize it, not good.
I should have been
Shasta.
clogged up for that long.
Well, see, Shasta is very similar to Mount St. Helens. So a large eruption would be explosive because it's Mount St. Helens was capped off whenever it erupted. You've seen the pictures where it blew up. That's what would be like. You know, so even
Catastrophic. It would
yeah.
be very bad for everybody around.
Well, and it's kind of funny because like even as an adult, I can't help but see things in my head the same way I did whenever I was a kid. Cartoons always said that volcanoes explode, lava just all over the place, and fiery rocks rain down from the sky. That's not what happens. So the immediate danger, and this is what I was trying to allude to earlier, is called pyroclastic flow. Do you know what that is?
Pyroclastic flow.
Yes. Pyroclastic flow is superheated
Sound like a
gas.
medical condition.
No, it is superheated gas, which also sounds like a medical condition. Ash, dust, dirt, and whatever else a volcanic cloud contains. They typically fly close to the ground around 100 miles per hour.
Oh, like a sonic boom or something.
Yeah. Well, they have been noted to go as fast as 435 miles per hour.
Damn.
Yeah. So
That's some fart.
the reason why the people in Pompeii weren't frozen in terror when they died was because this shit's fast.
Flash froze them or flash fired
Yeah.
them.
So you got to be careful because like there were people, like in Pompeii, a lot of them were like laying down, and so like whenever it did that little crusty plaster thing on
Mm-hmm.
them, they were all like laying down in bed. So don't be in the middle of like abusing yourself when a volcano goes off, because about 1,000 years from now, there's be some archaeologists be like, "Hey, what's this guy? Oh,
Hey, he's trying to
ew."
open something. Oh,
That's
no, he's
gonna
not.
There's gonna be a museum piece with a guy sitting there just like going at it.
Called hand in or dick in hand.
So anyone within 9 to 13 miles of that will just get burned inside and out.
Kind of
Just
like a
burnt
bomb
forever.
going off. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. So they'll experience burns on their skin, and by breathing it in, they will flash fry their lungs
Oh.
because it's over 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
Mm.
Within 30 miles, people will be at risk of being caught up in what's called a lahar.
Lahar?
A
That's
lahar.
Can I get it used in a sentence, please?
No, I'll just tell you what it is. A lahar is a mixture of volcanic debris and water that creates this flowing slurry that can go as fast as the slope allows and can be over 300 feet deep. So
Damn.
imagine kind of like a
It's like a
mud.
flood.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like a mudslide with like ash and just everything else mixed in with it.
Hmm.
I mean, it can get you a few ways. Like it can drown you and smother you,
Yeah.
but then just with all the stuff that gets caught up in with it, you can just be bludgeoned to death by like
Yeah.
rocks and like pieces of the house and stuff. I mean, there's a really just I'm sure a lot of people, if they hop around on different articles and YouTube thing, there's like this one picture of a little girl and her eyes are like completely red, like a demon. They almost look like black. She was caught up in the horror, and her eyes looked like that because she was stuck in it and she couldn't get out. So she eventually died from hypothermia. But it was like her body getting waterlogged and all this blood got in her eyes. It's really awful. It's not a fun way for people to go.
Yeah.
This is a happy episode. So Shasta is a significant risk for all this because it has a few glaciers on it, for lahars. So there's a lot of water that can, a lot of ice that can be melted,
Yeah.
and you're going to end up with lahars. So much like Yellowstone, it is a very popular tourist attraction and a pretty mountain to climb. Thousands of people visit it each year as if it's just a regular mountain, even though, it could just blow up and burn people to death and drown them in mud and ash and stuff.
If they got a front row seat.
But you don't think I just brought this up to talk about volcanoes with a high threat level, do you?
No.
No, but I have a quick question.
Sure.
It's on topic, but I don't know if you know. When you say capped, you mean that we actually try to stuff a cork, if you will, down a volcano to get it from erupting?
No, it's an over time. It's just natural between
Okay,
glaciers and
okay.
rock, and the dried lava and stuff
The
from
muck. Yeah.
before. Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant that was man-made, that we tried to purposely stop a volcano. I'm like,
No,
that ain't gonna
no, no.
work.
We don't.
Okay,
Lex Luthor isn't real, and so weird stuff like that doesn't happen.
okay. I was confused, and I wrote it
No,
down.
it is.
Okay.
It's natural. It's why you don't have just like volcanoes like in Lord of the Rings, where you just sit there and walk right in, and you do. There are
Yeah.
some
Oh,
that
in
are
the ring.
open like that. Where there are some where they probably there's lava and shit, but but Shasta's the kind where it's capped off, so whenever it goes, it just pop like a cork. A
Okay.
very deadly cork. All right, so that's enough volcano threat levels. We're going to talk about fun stuff now
All right.
because I started off low, so I'm going to climb us up high now. So Mount Shasta is the source of some very unique legends. We're going to start with the easy one, Bigfoot. Mount Shasta is not known for the most Bigfoot sightings, but it is a popular one for people to look for them. Kind of like Oklahoma. When you go to Oklahoma and there's certain towns that are like, oh, Bigfoot this, Bigfoot that. It's most Bigfoot sightings that are relatively credible, I guess, are like I think Idaho and like way up northwest.
They got
But
nothing else better to do.
so Shasta's kind of like Oklahoma in that regard. Uh, just 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 looking this stuff up on Google kept trying to get me to watch Kesha or Jeff Goldblum look for Bigfoot on Mount Shasta, which I made sure to make a note of that. I was like, so Kesha and Jeff Goldblum, there's videos of them looking for Bigfoot on Mount Shasta. So if you've got some time to just kill, you can do that.
It'd be
There have
interesting.
been reported Bigfoot sightings since the 19th century. The Klamath tribe that inhabited the area believed the mountain to be inhabited by the creator. Also have a word, Matagagmi, that
Hmm.
means keepers of the woods, that some people of that tribe say are Bigfoot.
I thought that translated into whale vagina.
God. All right. I'm going to just ignore that. I'm sitting here trying to talk to you about Bigfoot.
I'm listening.
All right. No, screw you. I'm not talking about Bigfoot anymore. So we got the Pacific Northwest. We already
Uh-huh.
know that Bigfoot's up there. What else they got?
Redwoods.
How about a hidden city inside of this mountain volcano?
A hidden city.
A hidden city. In 1904, a British prospector named J.C. Brown was working for a mining company. He claimed to have found a cave with vegetation in it. He said that he followed this cave for 11 miles, as one does, where he discovered a village filled with gold and shields and mummies that were as large as 10 feet tall.
Sounds like National Treasure.
Probably. So, 30 years after that, 1934, you got J.C. Brown. He's in Stockton, California. After telling his story to a man named John Root, they decide to gather a team and go find this, underground cave village. According to some accounts, J.C. Brown spent the next few weeks lecturing potential explorers about Lemurians and his theory about this being their lost settlement. You can ask me.
Are they Indians?
No, ask me what a Lemurian is.
Oh, what's a Lemurian?
I'm not going to tell you because that will be an awesome topic for a future show.
Oh, foreshadow.
Huh? Uh, so the guy, JC, he gathered 80 men ready to go to Mount Shasta to find this lost village and pillage its wealth of artifacts and gold, because that's what white people did back then.
Yep.
Yeah. On the day that they were supposed to leave, J.C. Brown was gone, never to be seen again. Now, obviously, he took the money and ran. The only problem with that, he never took any money from anyone.
Mm.
Some say the inhabitants of the underground city took him. Some say a domestic entity that wanted to keep the lost city secret took him. Some people think he took off because he was full of shit.
You want to be called out on this lie?
Maybe. However, this story does not stop here. William Hamilton, a air quotes researcher, wrote an article in 1980 that described his interactions with residents of this underground city called Telos.
Telos?
Telos.
Telos with a T.
Telos. Telos. Telos.
Isn't there a workout place called that?
No. I can't find a whole lot on this guy except quotes. So I can't say what kind of researcher he was. Like, I can't say he was a scientist in this or
Like
that.
Aristotle
All
or
I
something?
see are just quotes from him. That's it. So, for all I know, he could be some weirdo that just kept walking all over the mountain and calling that research. He could have been a drunk guy that was researching liquor.
Yeah.
He could have been a homeless guy researching a cave to sleep in. I have no idea. I can't tell you because, like I said, all I see are quotes. And he's like, yes, I'm a researcher. Okay, does that just mean you have a library card? I mean, I don't know. Hamilton, the researcher, said that as he was on the trail for reports of UFO base locations, because he was researching.
You always look for UFOs when you're researching, walking around in mountains.
We're going to be talking about UFOs here in a little bit, but right now we're going to go back to Hamilton, who's looking around for UFO base location whenever he met Bonnie. He said Bonnie was a pretty blonde woman with almond-shaped eyes and small, perfect teeth. Swipe right.
Like a pygmy?
Apparently, people that live there aren't worried about keeping themselves or their city secret because Bonnie was very talkative. Bonnie and her sister Judy left the underground city to live and socialize with us surface dwellers, along with their mother, Ranamu, and father, Ramu.
Wait a minute. You telling me the father and mother are named these ridiculous names, but the daughters are named Judy
And Bonnie.
And Bonnie.
Yes, and the
Such
mother's
generic.
Ranamu, and her father was Ramu.
Oh,
Maybe they started getting TV just like right at that generation.
Yes.
But I mean, it's like, Ramu, what shall we name our daughter Ketor, Wimwam, or Bonnie?
Yeah, what were your choices?
I like Ketor. Wimwam was my grandmother's name.
Yeah.
But we'll go with Bonnie.
Are these lizard people?
No, I told you she was blonde and she had almond-shaped eyes and small teeth. So I'm not going to go into Lemurian history here because I'm greedy and I want to save that for a later episode. That being said, Hamilton the researcher, which I will continue to call him, claims to have introduced Bonnie to a number of people and even met her cousin, Mattox.
That's better.
Apparently, he was part of like the good Lemurians.
Yeah, he got a good name.
Yeah. Well, Mattox made it a point to state how the U.S. government is constantly guarding against unusual discoveries because apparently underground city people are very up on what the government's up to, more than, I guess, surface dwellers. Bonnie and her people are strict vegetarians. that grow their food with hydroponic farms within the mountains.
Oh.
Yeah, they're regular Californians. They have tunnels with fast trains that can go 2,500 miles per hour. One of their tunnels goes all the way to Brazil. All the way.
All the way.
Yeah. Her father, Ramu, he's 300 years old and part of the ruling council of Telos.
300 years old?
300 years old.
He's getting up there.
Yeah. And then finally, the mountain people have spaceships that run on crystal-powered ion mercury engines that go way faster than light.
Of course they do. They run on crystals.
Yeah. They can enter hyperspace, which means, you generate into the fourth dimension. So, and if I had spaceships that flew that fast and trains that went that fast, I would totally live in a cave inside of a volcano.
Right next to the bat guano.
Yeah. I mean, they're hippies. They love guano. Moving
Great
on
volcano.
from Hamilton the researcher and Bonnie the Lemurian, let's talk about UFOs or UAPs, whatever they call them now. You get
What is a UAP? Unidentified.
Oh my gosh. So technically, I can't believe I have to educate you on this. So UFOs is not a term anymore.
It's not a flying object?
No.
That's unidentified?
Unidentified aerial phenomena. So
oh my God.
Whenever Congress and all that had their big alien thing, that last big session, it might have been a few years ago, but that's how the military was referring to them as unidentified aerial phenomena. Even though, because the military is also the ones that did an identified flying object. That's why I'm not butthurt about it, because both of them are their words. They can do whatever they want with them. I don't care.
They mean the exact same thing.
I'm just saying, everybody calls them UAPs now. Get in the now. Learn the new slang.
Oh, these youngsters. It's so sus.
In and around Mount Shasta, you get your typical sightings of orbs and saucers and cigar-shaped UFOs.
UAPs.
Whatever. No, if they're cigar... No, never mind. I ain't going to argue. The one that draws the most attention are the lenticular clouds.
What is lenticular?
Moving clouds? Are really weird saucer-shaped clouds that appear over the mountain. People say that aliens or Lemurians do that to hide their spaceships.
Oh, kind of like on War of the Worlds?
It's kind of like hiding your car behind a car-shaped bush. It's like, okay, we'll do a saucer-shaped cloud to hide our saucer-shaped spaceship.
Yeah, never mind the giant lasers that are coming out of it.
Now, there are some people that disagree with that. Meteorologists say,
now, what do they know?
Say it's because it's an especially high peak in that area. The ocean air blows into it, kicks up, and then science, blah, 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 boom, UAP-shaped cloud.
That makes sense.
I mean, I really did look up the meteorological phenomena, but it hurt my brain. But I mean, it is really interesting looking. There's
like a sand dune.
What?
It's like a cloud sand dune. How the sand dunes get built up because of the wind.
Sort of. I mean, you really ought to see this, and I don't bring pictures of this because someday I want people to actually listen to us on Spotify instead of watching us on YouTube all the time. But
one day,
if you were to Google lenticular clouds, they literally do look like saucer shaped, and they get right on top of the mountain. So if you do Mount Shasta lenticular clouds, they are very weird looking clouds. I will give them that. They are weird looking, but there are all sorts of weird looking things in this world that are not made by Lemurians or aliens.
True.
So then we have the mysterious inhabitants of Mount Shasta. So we have Bigfoot that
Yeah.
guards the forest. Then you have Lemurians,
Guard the
the people
caves.
that are 7 to
Great
10
white
feet.
bat gono.
Well, the 7 to 10 feet tall, blonde hair, blue eyed super race people. Yavol. The apparent Aryan dream people. Now, some forego the super race people and say that they have just tall robed figures that reside on that mountain.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. So I was reading on Reddit about a guy last year who had a story about being on Mount Shasta. And he said he was out on the mountain and that everything went silent. No animal noise, no wind. Then the strange humming sound that he said that he felt more than he heard it. Because, anytime that
A
there's humming,
vibration.
yeah, feels it in his soul.
Mm.
I don't know, or his brain.
Belly button.
Yeah. So he says he sees a tall person wearing a robe, but he couldn't see any hands or feet or a face. And he began backing away as it curiously observed him. Once he turned away, the humming stopped and normal forest sounds came back, and the weirdo in the robe is gone. So, yeah, granted, it's just some dude on the internet wrote that, and I read it. But that's the kind of stuff you hear about on Mount Shasta.
He was alone, witnessed this robed man
Well, in the
floating with
humming
no arms.
sound. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, it almost seems more like a Dementor, from Harry Potter. I mean, if you would have just casted Expecto Patronum, he would have
He
been
must
fun.
his he must have not been
Patronus.
thinking very well. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that is not the last of the potential inhabitants that we have on this volcanic mountain. I saved one of my favorites. There are tribes of little people.
As in
Not like little people's, not like little people, not like the kind that we watch wrestle. More like the dwarves from Lord of the Rings.
okay.
And they have really fun tribe names like the Moo and Yactavians. And they are famous for things like eating bananas and building bells.
Why does eating bananas make you famous?
I don't know. It's what they were famous for.
I guess how
Maybe
you
it's
eat.
the way they eat them. They're all like,
Yeah, I was
their
about to
big
say,
beards. Oh,
they make eye contact with everybody.
For some reason, people don't really talk about them as much nowadays. They were really popular back in the early 20th century, whenever J.C. Brown was running around trying to get people to go check out the weird cave village until he just up and vanished for whatever reason. Of course, there's also reports of lizard people because they love to go wherever UAPs or Bigfoot hang out. They're all friends and have conventions together.
Yeah, they live in Vegas too.
All right. So we've got now in Mount Shasta, we got a volcano potentially going to explode. We got Bigfoot, UFOs, lizard people, lost cities, super people. And you know what else comes up with all that stuff? Cults.
Cults, of course.
Cults.
A great place to start a cult.
So, a guy named Guy Ballard was hiking on Mount Shasta looking for a rumored branch of the Great White Brotherhood, more ancient super race people. While searching the mountain, he met a man who called himself the Count of Saint Germain, because that's the kind of people that live on a mountain. He was an ascended master that lived tons of lives as a person until he lived over and over until his soul became highly advanced. That's what an ascended master is. When they get to that point, they get to tell other people about being highly advanced. stop being reincarnated, and they just become immortal. So, yeah. So, Ascended Master Saint Germain, he already lived and died a whole bunch of times, became enlightened, just got to tell people how enlightened he is, and now he lives forever.
Oh.
Well, of course, Guy, the one that, found the Count of Saint Germain, had to share these teachings for free, where people could buy his books about the teachings. Or
Always money.
just donate if they wanted to.
Venmo.
Yeah, so I mean, there's not much to, that's that cult. I mean, it's a simple one. There's no like crazy sex scandals with it or anything. It's just a guy wanting some money.
Just buy my book.
Well, now though, we're going to move to the Love Has Won religious movement. This was founded by a lady named Amy Carlson. She was from Dallas. Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah, she moved away from here.
Yeah.
We don't claim her.
Yeah. So after she was told that she was divine on a web forum, she said she began to experience paranormal phenomena. Kind of like how if somebody says that they banged your mom, or they call you, tell you that you eat shit on a forum, then all of a sudden you taste shit in your mouth, because that's how that stuff works.
Yeah.
She bailed on her third husband, her children, and her job as a McDonald's manager. And from there, she went on a multi-state adventure as the Lemurian queen.
Huh.
As the group had adopted the tales of Lemurians of Mount Shasta. I cannot wait to have my episode on them. They also took lots of money for spiritual healing, donations, vitamins, and new age products. Like crystals and, crap like that. Here's some Bigfoot poop, whatever. So she went on the cult's YouTube channel in 2020 to tell everybody that she had cancer. Goddess cancer, I guess. It's like, I've got the cancer of the divine organ. She was last seen alive by non-cult members in April 2021 in a Mount Shasta RV park.
She's a god living in an RV.
Yeah, well,
excuse me, a queen.
Well, she was both.
Was it a double wide at least?
Later that month, her mummified corpse was discovered in the cult house surrounded by Christmas lights. She died from alcoholism, anorexia, and silver colloidal poison. They thought it would cure COVID.
Really?
But yeah. They were wrong. There's actually video of this on YouTube of whenever the police went in, because a lot of people started looking for this lady, and the way she just went silent and stuff, the police went to go do a wellness check, and the cult people just say, yeah, sure, come on in. And then they find that room with her just dead, and she'd been dead for like a month or so. And the cops are sitting there cracking jokes. Well, they're kind of laughing about it, but yeah, a lot of people went to jail and stuff because of that, for like mishandling a corpse. I've seen too much stuff about that one to really make it a full topic on this thing, because I feel like that one comes up at least every other week on some YouTube video. So this was just a very high level overview of a weird mountain in a weird state. If you want to climb this ticking time bomb volcano with Bigfoot and the UAPs, with the off chance of finding a lost city or a new religion, go check out. Yeah, go check out beautiful Mount Shasta. But yeah, that's all I have for you.
I'm sure there is a lot of people that go hoping to run into something strange.
Oh, hell yes.
Come up with their own story.
I can't say nothing. I've gone to different things. I've gone to like places that were supposed to be haunted with all the hopes of seeing something creepy. The Winchester House, I've been there. Didn't see anything ghostly there. Went to the Goatman Bridge over by Denton. I didn't see nothing there. I stayed at one of the most haunted hotels in San Antonio. Nothing there. I mean, I always go because, it'd be kind of cool. Like if I go somewhere and I see a big hairy ape man, I'll be like, holy crap, I saw a big hairy ape man. It's great. It's cool. But, yeah.
So, what part of California? You said Northern California?
Yeah, it's towards the northern part. So there's a town called Mount Shasta, and then there's the actual mountain. They're right by each other. But it's full of like hippies and weirdos.
Well, that reminds me there of one of my topics. In that area there, they want to start a 51st state. They feel like they're underclassified and are not represented in that area, so they want to come together and make a 51st state.
Thank you for the sneak preview. I'm not going to ask any questions because I'm going to let you save that. I might talk to my wife about it, being that she's a Californian. And yes, you are from California. You're a Californian. Anyways, that was a special message.
But now she's a Texan by marriage, so
shut up! Don't take her
she's
side.
Cool.
Do
she's
not
cool now.
Stop taking her side.
Hey, she picked us up when we were drunk.
Shush. All right. Well, I'm going to end it there. Join us next time. And whenever Jason will bring us something fun that will hopefully make me and you and all you wonderful listeners, love y'all, say, Waywut. You going to say bye?
Later.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Waywut. We really appreciate it. Remember that we post episodes every Tuesday and would love for you to rate us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or Pandora. If you are watching us on YouTube, throw us a comment, subscribe, and do all the other things that YouTube likes for you to do. You can stalk us on Facebook and X/Twitter with the handle Waywut Podcast. Once again, thank you for hanging out with us for a little bit, and join us next time when we'll get you to say, "Wait, what?"